In Chapter 13, Section 1, we're going to learn to measure angles in a new way. This is part of the California State Trigonometry Standards 1, what an angle is, how to measure it in degrees, which we're already familiar with, and today, how to measure it in a unit of measure called radians. Also, we need to learn how to convert back and forth between degrees and radians. So that's our goal today, to understand how we came up with a radian measure, how to use radians to measure angles, and how to convert back and forth between radians and degrees. And to do that, we're going to start with a unit circle again. Unit circle, of course, is a circle who has a radius of 1. So here's a radius line. Here's another radius line, each one having a length of 1. To find this angle called 1 radian, we take this one unit, whatever it is, 1 inch, 1 foot, 1 mile. We take a tape measure. We measure the arc length around a portion of the circle until we get that same 1 unit that has the same length as the length of the radius. From the end of that arc, we draw another radius, and the angle formed by the two radii is called an angle of 1 radian. So this angle is 1 radian. So that brings up the question, how many radians are there in a circle? Well, let's recall the formula for circumference of a circle. Circumference is 2 times pi times the radius. When the radius is 1, the circumference, or the distance around the circle, is 2 pi times 1, or just 2 pi. And then, of course, if all the way around the circle is 2 pi radians, halfway around the circle, or a semicircle, we take that 2 pi and divide it by 2 and get 1 pi. We also recall that all the way around a circle is 360 degrees, or halfway around a circle, the semicircle, is 180 degrees. So that tells us that pi radians is equivalent to 180 degrees. Now, if you want to know approximately what 1 radian is, it's approximately 57 degrees. But let's get to the next topic now, which is converting back and forth between degrees and radians to degrees. So converting from degrees to radians, multiply by pi over 180, and don't write out 3.14, just leave it as pi. Convert from radians to degrees, we're going to multiply by 180 over pi. So let's start with a couple of numerical examples, and that'll help illustrate the point. So convert 60 degrees to radians. Converting degrees to the radians, we're going to multiply by pi over 180. So 60 over 1 times pi over 180 is 60 pi over 180. And if we reduce 60 over 180, that reduces, of course, the 10s by 10 reduces to 6 over 18. And by 6s, that reduces to 1 over 3. So 60 degrees is the same as pi over 3 radians. In the other direction, if we're converting 3 pi over 4 radian measure to degrees, we're going to multiply by 180 over pi. So let's do that. We're going to take the 3 pi over 4, multiply by 180 over pi. In this case, the pi's will cross reduce. 4 will divide into 180 45 times. And then 3 times 45 will give us our answer of 135 degrees for the measure of that angle. So then again, what we have is that 3 pi over 4 radians is the same thing as 135 degrees. So today we've seen what a radian is, how to convert degrees to radians, and to convert radians to degrees.